1903 until 1913. He lived in this town and operated the first motion picture theater in the town of Milledgeville. His name was Oliver Hardy, and he later joined up with Stan Laurel to become one of the most famous comedy teams in American history. So just as we had Dixie back for a visit, it's my privilege to introduce Oliver Hardy.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's wonderful to be here with you today, back in Milledgeville, where I spent so many happy years. It's especially wonderful to be here for the opening of this wonderful river walk here, because when I was a youngster in Milledgeville, I spent many, many happy days playing right down here along the river. We would play baseball, we would go swimming. It was just wonderful. And now it's being reopened, redone for all the citizens of Milledgeville. And I think the folks who have been involved in this should really get a big hand from everybody. So please. As Dr. Wilson was explaining, I grew up here, and I used to show the motion pictures here. And as I was watching the movies, I suddenly realized that I could do that as well. So before you knew it, I left Milledgeville and went to Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida at that time was a real hotbed for motion picture making. I stayed there for a while, but eventually I headed to Hollywood, where I worked for Mr. Hal Roach and ended up being teamed with Mr. Stanley Laurel. And Mr. Laurel and I made many, many wonderful films over the years, which I hope you had a chance to enjoy. It's always wonderful to be back here in Milledgeville, where I spent so many, many happy times. There were some beautiful young women here as well, that were quite attracted to me. Anyway, I would like to finish up with a little song. This is from one of our movies, and we're going to try to do a little bit of it here for you now. I do have a wonderful singing voice, though I'll probably be helped along with one of these CD players that we'll try out here in just a second. But this was from one of the movies that Mr. Laurel and I made many years ago, and perhaps you'll remember the little tune, and if you'd like to, you can sing or dance, whatever happens to get to you. And thank you again for coming out today. There'll be many more wonderful activities, wonderful people up here, and perhaps even the storms will hold off for a little bit longer for us. If you would please, try the button.
On a mountain in Virginia stands a lonesome pine. Just below is the cabin home of a little girl of mine. Her name is June, and very, very soon she'll belong to me. For I know she's waiting there for me 'neath that lone pine tree. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine, in the pale moonshine, our hearts entwine, where she carved her name and I carved mine. Oh June, just like the mountains are blue, like the pine, I am lonesome for you. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine. In the pale moonshine, our hearts entwine, where she carved her name and I carved mine. Oh June, like the mountains I'm blue, like the pine, I am lonesome for you. In the Blue Ridge
Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine.
Thank you, and good afternoon to you all. Bless you all, and have a wonderful day here at the opening of this wonderful facility. Thank you very, very much. Goodbye.